and over again, this question of seeing our kids provides all of the most amazing opportunities during this period. And I want to start with a little story. So for the past 5 years, I taught in a drug and alcohol rehab for adolescents. My next book is about preventing addiction in kids, substance abuse in kids, from a parenting and education perspective, completely inspired by those students. I love my students at the rehab so much. And I joke all the time that, if you think it's hard as a teacher to keep your students' attention in a room that, in a place like, whether it's the Princeton Academy of the Sacred Heart or, Princeton High, where there's a lot of motivation there. So try taking these kids that have been sent to rehab because, they're super stoked to be at rehab, and then take it one step further and tell them that as a requirement of rehab that they have to go to school, and then you've got to somehow capture everybody's attention. So that can be a really difficult place to be in, and I have to do a lot of my new gung-ho thing is engagement. How do we get kids engaged in school? And so I had a student a little while ago who was about 17 years old, and he had been kicked out of high school. And if he completed rehab, his school said he might be able to come back to graduate with his class. And the kid was like, look, I don't even know if I'm going to do this. Who cares? Who cares about school? I'm just going to get a job. It'll be fine. And I said, I was trying to be really clever with my essay choice for that day and for that day's class. And so I said, could you write an essay about an experience at school? Let's pick a person at school that's been really influential for you. And the kid said, I can't write that essay. And I said, you mean you've never had a teacher that's really sort of, made a difference for you? And he said, no, I can't write that essay. And I said, well, anyone at school? And he said, oh, it doesn't have to be a teacher. And I said, absolutely not. It doesn't have to be a teacher. So he said, okay, I can write that. And he went back to his desk and he got really busy, which was really unusual for him. He got right down to work. He was enthusiastic. And afterwards, he handed me this essay. And it was about the fact that he gets sent out of class so much. He ends up in this room that they call the rubber room a lot. And it's sort of the room for all the kids who are bad. And please don't get me started on sending kids out of class behavioral problems. That's a whole other hour and a half long talk. But he gets sent out of class a lot. And the person who was in charge of that room was a lovely gentleman who I didn't know anything about. And he said, if I go back and finish high school, it's going to be because that man in that room was the only person who saw me and who will notice if I don't show up. And I wasn't supposed to, but I did a little bit of digging to try to find out who this person was. And it turns out he wasn't a teacher. He wasn't even faculty. He was a staff person who needed some extra hours and had gone through the background check with the rest of the people on staff. And he was just sitting there, quote unquote, babysitting this kid. But he saw him. He taught him how to play guitar. He talked about what this kid wanted to talk about and what was important to him. And the student said, this is the only guy who knows what's important to me. He's the only who sees me. He's the only one who listens to me. And he's the reason I will go back if I go back. And that kid did go back, and he did finish high school because of the one person in this entire school who saw him. That's at the crux of this incredible opportunity we have. And I don't want to get too Pollyanna about this period. This is an incredibly challenging period. My husband is an infectious disease doctor and a medical ethicist, and it's just really stressful in our house right now. And we have been very fortunate in that we don't have any close family members who have been ill, but I have friends that have gotten ill. And I don't want to, understate the fact that this is a really challenging time. But given all of the work we have to do, given all of the work our kids have to do, there's also this incredible opportunity, since we're all stuck in the house together, to really get to know each other and to understand what moves us and what drives us.